but it is 1 month without a drop of alcohol.
You're making me cry again.
You are a completely different functioning person, and I am so proud of you.
Jaclyn, this is huge. Super quick here, folks. I really want to talk about my sponsor today, Homeaglow. So I'm a super organized person, but I'm a very messy person. And this is quite the dilemma for me because I cannot feel organized when things are messy. So I really appreciate the value of having someone with actual cleaning skills who sees a pile and puts it away to come and lend some much needed support. So Homeaglow is a 5-star cleaning service with super affordable prices. Way cheaper than most services that I've paid for in the past, and definitely worth it to save my marriage and my ability to get work done. But the way it works is you go to Homeaglow's website to choose the day and time that you're looking for and the duration of your cleaning, and you'll be able to see all the available cleaners along with their background checks, photos, and reviews. So if you have someone that you've worked with before, you can rebook that same person and you can schedule it for that week or a month from now if you want to rebook your cleanings on a regular basis. You can also sign up for their Forever Clean membership, which saves you $30 an hour on future cleanings or unlimited cleanings for $19 an hour, all of which are backed by their happiness guarantee. And the cleaners are really super incentivized to do a good job because 100% of the cleaning fees and tips go directly to them. I don't know about you, but I just feel like I can work so much more efficiently and calmly when I'm not living in chaos. This service is only available in the United States, but if you need a little occasional support for your mental health or to take a huge domestic duty off of your plate, head to homeaglow.com/Abbey Sharp or scan the QR code to get your first 3 hours of cleaning for only $19. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. Today we'll be catching up with our girl Jaclyn on her journey and talking more broadly about what happens to your body and weight when you stop drinking. This comes at a time in the year when traditionally there is a lot of excessive drinking. When binge drinking basically becomes part of the culture and it's borderline acceptable to get blackout drunk at the company party.
Let's sit at him! It's happening!
It is also a time when stress, depression, and anxiety related to finances, family, and past trauma can result in people turning to alcohol to cope. It can be a really hard season for a lot of folks with histories of misuse of alcohol or who want to explore reducing their regular use. But if you are sober curious, or just looking to cut back, I do recommend watching Jaclyn's video in its entirety. I'm just gonna give you the Coles Notes of where she's at.
Up until I went through a traumatic incident, I partied, I drank alcohol socially. I was just drinking like everybody else, right? When I launched my lipsticks, that was the worst time of my entire life. And during that time, I turned to alcohol. I started drinking alcohol in a very normal way again, right? So I thought my relationship with alcohol is good again because this is the way everybody drank. I was no longer using it to run, but I lost 10 to 12 pounds and it was hard work. It was not easy because again, I was still drinking. Was I drinking, heavily? No, but I was still consuming alcohol. So when I went to New York for my birthday, I was drinking sangrias and I was drinking margaritas and I was just drinking whatever. I got home, I weighed myself and I was like, oh my God, I had to weigh myself in several weeks. So in that time frame, I had gained 12 pounds. And I was like, I'm sorry, we did not just gain back everything that we lost. And that was my moment.
Wow. That is a very powerful story, and I bet it's something that a lot of folks can identify with, even if they don't identify as having a problem with alcohol. We all have a moment where we realize that something in our life is no longer serving us. Whether it's a disordered eating pattern, an addiction, a person, a job, a place, etc. No one else can get you to that point. You really have to reach that moment on your own. But after that moment, Jaclyn dumped out a bottle of Tito's and vowed to stop drinking. And at the time of posting, she has been 90 days sober. That is amazing. So let's hear about the benefits Jaclyn experienced thus far.
So when I stopped drinking, I did not do it for any physical effects. I did it 100% for my mental health. And I just wanted to feel good. That's all I cared about. I'm really happy that that was the mindset that I had because I didn't see any physical changes for a little bit. I started all new habits, okay? I started taking walks. I started eating so much sugar. And now the alcohol is far and long gone out of my system. I love sugar. I did change my diet as well. I changed my workout routine as well. And now I've lost 23 pounds. It's crazy, you guys. It's crazy. I was working my titties off. It's still sugar, even if you're just drinking clear alcohol with club soda, because now the weight literally falls off of me. Now, hear me out. I did not lose any weight, not even a pound for the first 2 weeks. Something happened between like the 1 month mark and the 3 month mark where I lost like close to 20 pounds in 2 months. I am so sharp. Every single person in my life is like, what the f? I have so much damn energy. I don't require as much sleep. I have lost 4 inches on my waist. My rosacea is gone. My average heart rate has gone down by 15 beats per minute. My blood work is crazy. My doctor was like, this looks like a different person.
First of all, I am so proud of Jaclyn. Like, this is what the journey should be about. If you recall, Jaclyn spent months, I don't know, maybe years on a weight loss journey. And even though I was rooting for her to meet her goals, as a dietitian, I had a lot of reservations about her approach. Basically, with each episodes, we would see Jaclyn pull the reins super hard and then have a weekend out where she would say, it, I'm gonna live my best life, where she would drink and eat and be merry, rinse and repeat. And not only is this over-restrict binge repeat cycle a very common pitfall for people who are trying to lose weight, but the alcohol piece was probably also playing a significant role in the struggle. But the fact that she went into this journey of giving up alcohol, not for the promise of finally losing weight or, reducing the puffiness in her face or any other physical feature, but for the mental health benefits, which clearly have been huge, is so important for maintaining motivation. Because like she said, she didn't see any weight loss for a few weeks, and she could have easily said like, oh my God, I'm not going out, I'm miserable, I can't have fun with my friends, and I have nothing to show for it. But she stayed the course. And I'm so glad she did, because yeah, those first few weeks of abstinence are probably going to be really tough. What Jaclyn has shared here is super brave, and it really opens up opportunities for more discussions like this one. And since I'm not a substance use counselor or a psychologist, I'm a dietitian, I wanted to talk broadly about what happens to your body when you stop drinking. So weeks 1 and 2 are rough. So this is the clinical detox period, and when the withdrawal effects like insomnia, anxiety, depression, irritability, night sweats, etc. are most prominent. After 2 weeks, your liver is likely near or fully recovered. Basically, every time you use alcohol, some of your liver cells die. And while we are able to develop new cells, prolonged misuse of alcohol can reduce its ability to regenerate. So one of the major risks of alcohol use disorder is cirrhosis of the liver, where you get a buildup of fats in the liver. But after those 2 weeks of abstinence, you'll likely physically see signs of liver recovery, like clear, whiter eyes and greater energy, like Jaclyn later described. Now, after 2 weeks, this is generally where we see the most physical and mental health benefits. You'll be sleeping better, you may see improvements in your skin, better digestion, and a lot more. This is also when you'll likely see a dramatic reduction in any kind of puffiness or bloating as you stop holding onto excess fluid, especially in the face. And it's also when you may start to lose weight, which lines up very nicely with Jaclyn's timeline and her description of the weight loss kind of suddenly melting off. Most research suggests that low or moderate drinking is not associated with weight gain, but excess alcohol intake is. So I want to talk about the reasons why alcohol makes it a lot harder to lose weight, and why for a lot of folks, quitting can often be the spark that ignites the weight loss fire. So why do you lose weight when you stop drinking? Reason number 1, you consume fewer calories. This is the most obvious reason, but if you're in the habit of having, let's say, 1 to 2 drinks on a weeknight and 2 to 3 on a weekend, and I'm being conservative, even if you're choosing perfectly clean drinks like Jaclyn suggested that she would, you are racking up an extra 1,000 to 3,000 calories per week just from the alcohol alone. And this does not include any mixes or syrups or any late night restaurant or bar foods that you may feel more inclined to consume when your inhibitions are down. So of course, when you remove the calories from alcohol, you are naturally creating a calorie deficit, even if you don't change a single thing about the food. So that is Captain Obvious reason number 1. Reason number 2, you can burn fat not just booze. So when you consume alcohol, your liver preferentially burns the alcohol, which means that calories from everything else that you eat get stored as fat, particularly around the midsection. So this is where the pet name beer belly comes from, and it's actually this intra-abdominal fat that is the most metabolically dangerous for your health. One study found that men who drank more than 3 drinks per week were 80% more likely to have belly fat than those who drank less, which goes to show that even what might be considered like social drinking quantities can increase the risk and make it harder to lose that fat. And speaking of body composition, reason number 3 is that you can finally gain or maintain muscle mass when you quit. No one ever built muscle in the bar. And so even if you are working out, frequent excessive alcohol consumption can negatively impact muscle growth. Basically, alcohol appears to interfere with signaling pathways that tell the body to build and retain muscle. It can also affect the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal system, which lowers our testosterone levels. And while most research in this area have been done on men, it's important to note that women also need a certain level of testosterone to build muscle. You'll also just likely have more energy for exercise if you're not bogged down by hangovers and fatigue. Reason number 4, you'll have fewer food cravings. So we went into detail on how cortisol affects our body weight in my video right here. But alcohol is a stressor on the body, so it increases our cortisol levels beyond what is normal, which plays a role in that belly fat piece or that beer belly piece, but it can also increase our cravings for higher calorie foods. Interestingly, and I'm not Jaclyn's dietitian, so I don't have a day-to-day play-by-play here, but it sounded like she replaced her use of alcohol with sugar as a temporary dopamine hit to help pull her out of some of those depressive episodes in those early weeks of the detox. And then later on, as she got past that hump, she was naturally just wanting to make choices that felt good to her body. And again, this totally makes sense as the withdrawal symptoms subsided and our hormones regulated post-detox. Reason number 5, you'll sleep better. I know we often talk about passing out after having a few drinks, and while alcohol may seem like a sleep aid because it's a depressant, it actually interferes with quality sleep. Overconsumption of alcohol is associated with significant sleep disturbance, lower slow wave sleep, and more rapid eye movement sleep than normal. The result is that you are chronically fatigued. And poor sleep is consistently associated with increased hunger hormones, food cravings, and cortisol levels, all of which can increase the risk of weight gain. There are obviously many other reasons why overconsumption of alcohol can impact your weight, but the question remains, do you have to completely abstain to see the benefits? Do you need to quit cold turkey to lose weight? Well, for some folks, yeah, it might be all or nothing, not because of the risk of weight gain, but because even one drink can trigger overuse. Some people are also just more sensitive to the effects than others. But generally speaking, the research suggests that light to moderate alcohol intake is not associated with weight or fat gain. So how much is too much? Again, highly individualized, but I'm currently of the thought that less is more. Here in Canada, we actually just updated our low-risk alcohol drinking guidelines from 10 drinks per week for women and 15 for men to just 2 drinks per week. That is a huge, huge leap. But these guidelines have taken into consideration the risks of cancer, heart disease, stroke, and bodily harm to yourself and others via drinking and driving, or fighting, or other illegal activity. And honestly, this is kind of what I suggest sticking to as well. At 2 drinks per week, you are very highly unlikely to experience any of the weight gain risk factors that we just talked about, nor any of the more important negative mental and physical health outcomes. So if you are sober or sober curious or just looking to cut back on alcohol as we head into drinking culture prime time with the holidays, here are some of my top tips. Number 1, learn to say no. You don't have to say yes to every single event invite that you receive. So set a weekly cap on going out before the invitations start rolling in, and then send a thank you card with your regrets when you've met your max. Number 2, set a time limit for your event attendance. Arrive at parties early on before everyone else has had too much to drink, and commit to heading home early to maintain your healthy nighttime routine. Number 3, offer or bring non-alcoholic options. A festive mocktail, cider, or hot cocoa gives you something to look forward to beyond just seltzer and is something that everyone else can enjoy. I've also learned from my pregnancy days that it is best to have something in your hands at all times so that hosts or servers aren't constantly asking you what you want to drink. Number 4, start some non-drinking traditions. If you're hosting or organizing a holiday event, make some socializing suggestions that don't revolve around booze. So like having a holiday movie night or ice skating or holiday light tours or night skiing are all super fun ways to socialize without alcohol. And finally, practice polite declines. Whether you are completely abstaining or trying to limit your consumption, practice the polite response when your friends or family start to pressure you to drink. It could be like, I'm good with this, or I'm pacing myself, or I'm driving tonight, or I'm cutting back. All of these are really quick responses that really shouldn't need any more details. So there's lots of reasons to cut back on alcohol consumption. Weight loss is really just one of many and arguably is one of the least important perks in the context of overall health. And Jaclyn is a really inspiring example of this. She went into her sober journey not looking to lose weight, but ironically, it made something she had previously been working her off for just happen. The unexpected but much desired side effect of really changing her whole life for the better. So please, whether you're a Jaclyn fan or not, leave her some love here. I really hope she sees this because I am rooting for her 100%. And I am so glad that she had the courage to share her journey with the rest of us. And on that note, that's all that I have for you guys. I hope you have a safe and healthy holiday season. If you or someone you know is struggling with alcohol use disorder, I'm going to leave a link below to some resources to help. And I will see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye.